the absolutely best Philly cheesesteak sandwich. There it is. Look, ribeye steak. We're gonna cut this up and make the best Philly cheesesteak sandwich ever. I'm Chef Don McMillan, spent a lifetime cooking, lived almost a lifetime in Philadelphia. I actually was the manager of the airport there in Philadelphia, so I can tell you we cooked thousands of cheesesteaks there. Don't comment on that now, but they were very good cheesesteaks, I can tell you that. But if you go throughout Philadelphia, South Philly, you'd walk down and there'd be so many cheesesteak restaurants, and you can get them with a lot of different things. Of course, you gotta go to Pat's, you gotta go to Jim's, you gotta go to Geno's. All of those are like must-dos, but the best cheesesteak is gonna be right here because we're gonna do it. Using ribeye steaks. These were fresh, but I put them in the freezer just for maybe a half an hour or something. Just want to get them cold so I can cut them up. And I'm going to show you how to do that. But before that, we're going to go ahead and cut our rolls. So I was able to get this at our local supermarket. It's beautiful. It's soft, okay? I know sometimes you like that crusty one. The soft one really works very well on this. And look, this is our long sub roll. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, not all the way in half, but I do want to make a cut here. Now, if you notice, I'm using a cutting board. Don't cut it in your hand, okay? Use the cutting board. Use that device. It's made to protect your hands. And these are your most important tools. So always protect your hands. We don't cut the bread all the way through, but using a sharp knife or a bread knife, that would be ideal as well. We just want to cut it just so we can open it up, and it will envelop all of that goodness from our cheesesteaks, okay? There it is, all right? Let's put that off to the side. I'm using onions, so I'm gonna dice the onions. So to dice the onions, there's my root. Make an invisible line on this side of the root. Make a series of vertical slices down like this. And then the root's holding the onion together. We're gonna reverse it and vertical slices down again. And you notice I'm holding my knife, right? Firm grip on the knife. Flip it over, cut around the root. We don't need that anymore. So let's go ahead and finish these other onions, because the next thing would be to start cooking our steak. So now I diced up my onions. My first thing to do is to go ahead and saute the onions. Put a little bit of canola oil. In goes the onions. And we'll just cook those, let them caramelize just a little bit of flavor going on in there, because this is gonna be so good. This is the original, if you wanna say that, because I am using fresh, wonderful meat here, our ribeyes, but we're just gonna cook the onions. Now, you could add other things like mushrooms. You love mushrooms, do that. There's a big variety of different cheese. I like to put peppers in mine as well. So I would saute some onions and peppers, but you know, you make it the way that you like best, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? All right, using our pan here, let's go ahead and brown these onions up just a little bit more. So while our onions are cooking, let's go ahead and cut up our steak. So there's some connecting tissues, and I'm going to remove those because we don't want all those. It's really hard to eat, you see? It's almost like a little bit rubbery in there. Let's go ahead and remove that out. Not going to remove any of the good meat though. We're going to keep that. So that's so important. Let's just put this off to the side. So you see the connecting tissue I was talking about right there? We're just going to go ahead and remove that.
So Chef Don, how long did you live in Philadelphia?
Seems like most of my life. But I actually moved to Philadelphia right after I got married. I was living in New York at the time, and my wife, Giselle, came to live with us. She moved to New York first. I moved there after I finished on the Anton Brune. and we were looking for a home, and I had to ship out, and Philadelphia is a shipping port, so we moved to Philadelphia, and that's where you were born, Andrew. They're at the University of Pennsylvania Hospital.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So you're a Philadelphia, born and bred.
I am.
I kind of say, because you did move around a lot. Remember, we moved to Denver and a whole lot of other places in between.
Yeah,
California, Los Angeles. Yeah, back to Denver.
Back to Philadelphia.
Yeah, lived in the mountains of Colorado, ski lodge. We had a good life traveling around. Although you probably had to make a whole bunch of friends every time you moved.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's about it. The 3 years, I think, the longest we lived anywhere until we moved to Winston-Salem. And then we lived there quite now all our lives, it seems. Okay, so here's our steak. And we get that last little piece of tissue there. Let's give the onions a little bit of a stir. They're browning up just the way I want them to. So thin slices, right? Thin. That's why I froze them. See? Just thin slices like that. That's what's going to make our steak ever so perfect. You do need a sharp knife. And of course, you want to hold it correctly like that. And we're just making sure. And I'm cutting against the grain too. I don't know if you can see that, but look at that beautiful marbling in there. That's so important. I don't want to cut it so it'd be stringy. I want to cut it so it'd be just the perfect way we like our steak. We just cut it. Well, there it is. 2 whole ribeye steaks. Cut them up in beautiful strips. Let's go ahead and put it right into our pan, and we're going to start cooking them. Oh my, don't this look so good? This is delightful. Yes. Just go ahead and season a little salt and pepper. And get that flavor going. Yes. This is going to be a very delicious cheese steak using the best ingredients. So now I'm cooking the meat. I'm looking to be sure that the pink is pretty much gone. Look at all those juices in there. Now it's the time to add the onions. Put them back in there. We browned them off just a little bit. Got that caramelization going on them. And now we put the 2 together just like this. This is going to be delicious. Look at those onions. Look at those steaks. They're so happy joining together. We're going to be so happy when we hook these things up with our wonderful steak roll. Yes. All right. So now the key is to push it together right there in the center. Can you see that? And then grace it with cheese. And we're going to do lots of cheese. I'm doing American sliced cheese. Okay, I don't like to use that cheese food. I don't know. This doesn't seem to be too real for me. And as it's heating up, we're going to open up our steak roll. Let me get my super duper spatula. Well, look, our cheese is melted. Let's put this beautiful roll right on there. I know it's not an Amoroso roll. I know you're probably going to say, well, that's the only one because, you know, they were doing it since 1904 and that's the traditional, but hey, this is going to be just divine. Now, I got to get this big spatula underneath there because I want to get every bit in there and we're going to flip it like that. Oh, look at that. Look. Oh, I left some in there, right? No, I didn't leave any in there. We're gonna just take them on out like this. Oh, man. You think this is enough for one person? I don't know. What do you think, Laurie? Is this enough for one person?
If I hadn't been eating steaks already today, I could probably eat that whole thing.
I know. All right, I got it. Look at that. Look at that. All right, let me get it over here. It's too heavy to hold now. This is culinary goodness. Oh, all right. Let's push them down a little bit in here. Can you guys see this thing? This is it. Y'all in Philadelphia, eat your heart out, because this is our wonderful. Look at this. Let me get a long view of it. That's our Philadelphia cheese steak. Grande. Delicious. This is it, my friends, my Philadelphia friends, my friends all over. I gotta cut it and show you what it looks like on the inside. You can see it, but it looks on the outside. But let's cut this right down the center. Yes. There. Look. So much goodness. What's not to love? From the city of brotherly love, we've got a wonderful Philly cheesesteak. So please, click on to that bell, ring it. We're gonna show you so many more steak videos you wanna see. Subscribe. Check us out on Patreon. We've got much to offer. Great recipes, great videos, behind the scenes action. You're going to get exclusive content to all of our videos without any ads. And as always, when you're cooking with Chef Don, it is simply Philly fanatic delicious.